If someone is on probation or parole and then they're arrested on a new offense, should they bail out? Not always. I'm going to give you a story here about a client I recently represented, and we were able to save him quite a bit of money. And here's the situation. So let's say that you're on federal supervised release, which means you've already served a federal criminal sentence and you've got a little bit of time still hanging over your head while you're on, think about it as parole. Or you're on what's called DOC, Department of Corrections parole. You've served a state prison sentence and now you've got some time still on parole. You're out and now you're arrested for a new offense and you're jailed. Or let's say you've got a stayed time hanging over your head. So you haven't gone to prison, but you've had a prior criminal case. You're still on probation for it and you've got a prison sentence hanging over your head as a consequence if you don't do well on probation. So you go out, you commit a new offense, allegedly, and you're arrested for that. Judge has a bail hearing, or bail is set without even a hearing. And anyway, let's just say, for example, bail is set at $10,000. In Minnesota, you pay a bond agent 10% of that, so $1,000, all right? Now, you might want to think, well, wait, let's just get them bailed out and get them out of there. And a lot of inmates, of course, they want to bail out right away. But here's where you can be smart with your money. If you've got a suspended sentence hanging over your head called a stayed sentence, or you're on parole or probation through the DOC or federally, you might want to wait a minute to see if there's going to be a hold filed. Here's why. I had a case recently where I represent a guy and he had had a different lawyer before. He had time hanging over his head. He gets a new offense. They call me, the family, and they wanted to have me go get bail set for him right away. And I said, hold on, because if we get bail set, and then we did get it set, and you pay the bail, and there ends up being a hold, your loved one, your family member, isn't going to get out of jail anyway. And if the judge determines that they're going to hold him the whole case for his prior violation and put him back in detention potentially, then you've just thrown away all that money. So you've posted bail, you're thinking you're going to get them out, there's a hold or there's a revocation of supervised release, and they go away or they're held in custody during the whole time, and now you've paid that bail money and they're never going to get out, which means you just threw that money out the door. So I'm trying to give you a tip here so that if your family member or loved one is in that situation, just make sure first that there's not going to be a hold filed. And there's a couple ways we can do that. I've worked with probation agents to get out in front of that issue, sometimes prosecutors that are on the old case or what have you, in order to find out, is there going to be a hold here or not. Sometimes somebody doesn't want to make a call and alert their PO to that. That's a judgment call in a situation, but I'll tell you that most of the time their PO finds out right away, and usually my experience is that they appreciate the early communication. I got a case going right now, in fact, where that's exactly what I've done. I've got somebody who's on parole in state DOC as well as supervised release federally. They got arrested on a new offense, and I was telling the family, hold on, let's reach out because probation's going to know about this. Let's reach out to them, find out if they plan on taking any action on that or not right now. Remember, they're presumed innocent, but it doesn't mean that they don't put a hold out or warrant out for a number of reasons for failure to follow the conditions. And in that case, we played our cards right, and the family didn't end up throwing any money away, which was a good decision. So if you have any other questions, I'm criminal defense attorney Ryan Pacyga. You can find me at arrestedmn.com or call me at 612-339-5844.